Resilience. RESILENCE. Resilience. Meaning, never say woe in a bog hole. Giddy up. I was raised up in Great Falls, Montana, and my dad, Al Anfinson, he was a leather craftsman and ended up, actually he built my guitar strap here, and he built a few saddles from scratch. He was in an outfit called the Cascade County Sheriff's Posse, and you had to have a sorrel horse to belong, and they only let 30 members in there, and they would do search and rescue stuff, and they would do the parades, the drills on the parades with their horses, and they would police the fairgrounds during the Montana State Fair just to try to keep kids like me from hopping the fence, you know. And, he made a couple saddles before he died, and my older brother ended up with the first one. And this is a little tune about the other one. Thing disappeared 1972. And I've been prospecting a while. Well, as a young boy, I remember I'd sit up on the stairs, watching over his shoulder as he worked below me there. He'd tool that cool, damp leather, bend and shape and mold, building that handmade saddle so many years ago. And I remember that leather saddle my father built by hand, drip-throated on my pony, rode as fast as the wind. Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, Hopalong Cassidy too, must have had handmade saddles when only the best would do. Great Falls, Montana, 1972. It wasn't a field days convention. They had cowboy polo too, and there was horses and their cowboys. They came from near and far, and they had the banquet dinner at the VFW bar. And when the trophies were all given out to all the winning folks, then the MC took the microphone. He told a couple of jokes. He announced the winning number for the prize up by the band. It was a brand new handmade saddle that was built by my old man. And I remember that leather saddle my father built by hand. If I could throw it on my pony, hey, I'd ride across this land. If I could find that handmade saddle from so many years ago, I'd have a history to show my family I'd treasure forevermore. Now so many years have come and gone. I've got children of my own. Dad passed on in '83. Before my kids were born, they never knew their grandpa, but they got the family brand. And I told them about that saddle that the grandpa made by hand. Well, I've asked around the country, old friends my dad did know, but the years have passed, they left me answerless. Where'd that handmade saddle go? It was a Charlie Russell trail ride coming up over the pass. I rode up to old Sonny, and this question I did ask. Do you remember that leather saddle my father built by hand, with the inscription on the fenders, if you seen it around this land? If I could find that handmade saddle from so many years ago. I'd have a history to show my family I'd treasure forevermore. He said there's this fella named Otto Jensen over in Lewistown. He had the winning number, so you should go and hunt him down. So next year before the Russell ride, I drove by Otto's place. Well, we talked a spell. He said, it's yours now. Hey, there's a smile upon my face. As I'm riding that leather saddle my father built by hand. I'm a riding tall and I'm a riding proud. I'm a doing the best I can. He stamped his name right on it. It's the mark of a mighty fine man. Riding that handmade saddle that my father built by hand. Yeah, riding that handmade saddle that was built by my old man. Thank you. All right. The sheriff posse outfit had a great big pasture area up there on Hill 57 above Great Falls, and they'd have all those horses out there, and we'd head up there a lot in the summertime. Right next door to the sheriff posse pasture up there was some Indian folks that were up there. They had their houses up there, sort of houses, I guess, and they were. I'd ride my bicycle through there sometimes. And, they had a lot of dogs running around and not a whole lot of shoes, but I always remember this, and that ended up being part of the Little Shell Chippewa tribe, and they've been in 2019, they finally got recognized by the federal government, and they gave them a reservation up there of 3 acres. And I appreciate that culture a lot, and I have been involved in teepees. I've had teepees in my life for quite a while. They're an amazing gift. Teepees, you got to have the teepee up there is the skin on the outside, and you leave the outside off the ground about 6 to 8 inches or so, and then you put a liner on the inside, comes up about to your shoulder, goes all the way down and hits the ground and comes back inside the teepee just a little bit, and that creates a little draw up there, which is turns it into the world's largest yodel stove. And without that liner, you're just going to start a fire and get choked in smoke, you know. But it's a great invention, and I've had a 30-foot teepee. That was crazy. That took about all the friends I had and a case of beer to set that one up, and then about a 6-pack to take down. But it was. And then I had a 24-footer. I still got that. We just set it up here this past spring. And I went up there because I was tired of having square dreams. I wanted to have some round dreams. So I went back in there and put my cot back up in there. And by golly, it was pretty nice, I'll tell you what. So I wrote a little song about teepees here I'd like to share with you. Spending some time down by the creek. My teepee's a fine place to sleep. It's where my spirit and my nature can speak. Well, I'm spending some time by the creek. Well, it's been a good winter, and I'll miss the snow. When Ma Nature is resting, it's so quiet, you know. But all things must pass. Spring's coming on fast. Under snow, I can hear the creek flow. I'm spending some time down by the creek. My teepee's a fine place to sleep. It's where my spirit and Ma Nature can speak. Well, I'm spending some time by the creek. Down in the clearing, there's a teepee site. I set up the lodge, pull the skin on it tight. It's a room that is round, and you sit yourself down on the ground. Looking up, you can see daylight. Well, I'm spending some time down by the creek. My teepee's a fine place to sleep. It's where my spirit and Ma Nature can speak. Well, I'm spending some time by the creek. As I lay in the teepee, I gaze at the sky. There's music outside as the creek rolls by. Start a fire, sing a song as darkness comes on. Looking up, only stars fill my eyes. Well, I'm spending some time down by the creek. My teepee's a fine place to sleep. It's where my spirit and Ma Nature can speak. Well, I'm spending some time by the creek. I'm hanging out here by the creek. You'll find me down by the creek. Find yourself a teepee. Have some round dreams. Thank you. 32 years ago, I was raised up around saddle horses all my life, but 32 years ago, I got up here to Lone Mountain Ranch and learned to drive draft horses. They're bigger. And I've been around them so much that when I get around a regular saddle horse, it seems like they're going to break, you know. So I ended up buying a few horses. My first draft horse was this great big old Belgian paint named Bill. And then I got a team of roan Belgians, old Jim and John. Let's see, there was some Percherons, Barney and Clyde, Blue and Bell. Got Howdy and Jerry down at the Lone Mountain Ranch this winter down there. And let me see here. I'm forgetting. Oh, yeah. The Suffolk Punch, the rarest breed of draft horse out there. There's about 1,200 of them in the world, old Hobo and Bassie. And then we cannot forget the old Snapper and Velcro. Their parents' names was Button and Zipper. They were the Fastener family. But my favorite team of all was a team of blonde Belgians I bought when they were 2 years old, and I named them Minnie and Pearl. And I live outside of Helena now, about 10 miles above town. And some 15 years ago or whatever, we had this pine beetle epidemic roll through the country and decimated a lot of my lodgepole pine and my ponderosa up that way. So I decided to make lemonade out of the lemons. And I went and bought myself a wood miser sawmill. And I took the horse logging up there and I cut all the lumber for my house and built a big dining pavilion up top there. We did a pretty good sized shed here the last couple winters ago, summers ago. And the horses have been bugging me for a few years for a barn. So I finally built them a barn, and man, are they happy, I'll tell you what. Well, I lost many about 4 years ago, and this last summer I lost a Pearl girl, and I've got this song here to keep their memory alive. She only had one lousy day, but boy, you sure, they're like dogs or something. You just kind of start to liking them, So this is a draft horse logging song. There aren't too many of them out there. Here's a draft horse pulling in the morning sun, skidding them logs till the day is done, decking them high by the old sawmill, choke her up another one, head down the hill. Well, Minnie and Pearl, they're a pretty good team. Skidding them logs ain't as easy as it seems. Doing my dance on the mountain all day, staying out of the fight, getting out of the way. Well, there's 37 down on the mountainside. Pine beetle came and them trees died. And there's a whole bunch more just over the hill. Probably go get 'em with Howdy and Bill. Yeah, wood miser mill singing all day. My new bar's gonna hold some hay. Cutting them beams, raise 'em up high. This good barn's gonna touch the sky. I'm gonna have enough stalls for the whole dang crew. Automatic water in a tack room too. 'Cause the snow's gonna fly most any day. I got a barrel of grain, I got a barn of hay. Yeah, Minnie and Pearl and Howdy too. Hobo and Bessie, Belly and Blue. Jimmy and John and Barney and Clyde. Snapper and Velcro, big and wide. Well, I don't mind the work and there ain't no pay. Just a stack of good wood at the end of the day. And I'm throwing that harness in the morning light on a big draft horse full of power and might. Yeah, Minnie and Pearl, they're a pretty good team. Skidding them logs ain't as easy as it seems. Doing my dance on the mountain all day, staying out of the fight, getting out of the way. There's a draft horse pulling in the morning sun, skidding them logs till the day is done, decking them high by the old sawmill, choke her up another one, head down the hill. Choke her up another one, head down the hill. Choke her up another one, head down the hill. Well, this next tune here is a love song. It's the first love song I ever wrote that wasn't about food. People ask me if I've been up here in Montana all my life. And I tell them, not yet. sort of like the place. So I'm heading up the east side of the Continental Divide, running up towards Glacier there, and get up near Shoto, Montana. Take a look off to your right out there, you can see all the way to Minnesota. Twin Cities right out there. Okay, could have possibly been a Hooterite camp, I'm not sure, but if you look off to the left, the Rocky Mountains are just jumping out of the ground, and I came up this little tune here. One called Home is Where Montana Is. And we don't have any slides for it because it's too dang pretty to try to capture, you know. It's just like, you got to just taste it. You got to have it right there in your face, you know. So just use your vivid imaginations tonight, folks. Well, it's beautiful with spacious skies, has amber waves of grain, and has purple mountains majestic that rise up out of the plains. And all across America, from sea to shining sea, where the mountains and the prairies meet, that's a place I need to be. Home is where Montana is. Montana is my home. From mountain peaks to prairie lands, places I have known. And I'm bound to ramble, yes, I'm bound to roam. But when I'm in off the road now, boys, Montana is my home. Well, there's ranching in the mountains, many cattle you will find. And there's sheep herds on the high plateaus in this country I call mine. And there's farming on the prairies that turn from green to gold. And when a gentle breeze blows across them fields, it's a fine sight to behold. Home is where Montana is. Montana is my home. Yeah, from mountain peaks to prairie lands, places I have known. And I'm bound to ramble, yes, I'm bound to roam. But when I'm in off the road now, boys, Montana is my home. And there's a place I love to go to. It crosses a great divide. And from the top I can see the world below with the mountain peaks beside me. And there's a new birth in the springtime, and summer comes alive. And there's gathering in autumn, winter's cold and quiet. Home is where Montana is. Montana is my home. From mountain peaks to prairie lands, places I have known. I'm bound to ramble, yes, I'm bound to roam. But when I'm in off the road now, boys, Montana is my home. And it's a land of many waters coming down from mountains high. And there's a mighty big sky up above us here. You can hear them coyotes crying. And there's plenty of room for moving, plenty of fresh air. And the folks out here have the time of day and a helping hand to share. Home is where Montana is. Montana is my home. Yeah, from mountain peaks to prairie lands, places I have known. And I'm bound to ramble, but yes, I'm bound to roam. But when I'm in off the road now, boys, Montana is my home. Coming in off the road now, boys. You know I'm heading home. everyone. I appreciate this a lot. All right. Sounds like a big rainstorm out there or something, you know. Say, I'm very honored to be up here on this format here, TEDx. I haven't slept in 3 weeks thinking about this, you know. But let's give a big round of applause for Outlaw Partners for putting all this stuff together and doing what they do for this community here. It takes a lot of work. It takes a village, folks. So, once again, if you're driving home tonight, don't forget your car. Good night.